What is going on, CaneSport? Izubee Charles here at the Under Armour All-American game with Immanuel Iheanacho. Did I get that right?
Iheanacho.
Iheanacho, first man. But hey, pleasure to have you. How are you doing today, man?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me.
For sure. 6'7", you said 325, right?
Ha! 352.
352, a little bit off. Have you always been that big?
I got a couple pounds on. I'm gonna be honest. During AU, I didn't play AU this year, and I'm gonna be honest. I let myself slip up a little bit, but I played at this basically the whole season, and I had a great season. So it's not a struggle for me at all.
With you mentioned AAU. Basketball is a big part of who you are. Talk about kind of just blowing up as a football player, in the last few months, the last few years. How's seeing you become one of the top prospects been to you?
It's kind of been like surreal. It's like it's crazy. Like some of these guys that I'm playing against, and I'm being as like rated as high as like I used to watch these guys film. I used to like try to be able to take some of these guys filming some of these guys' moves and be able to use it against them. Eventually, I've used it against them, and just be able to talk to these guys now and be able to see like what I guess like this quote unquote lifestyle is. I want to try to build my brand a little bit more these next couple of months, but I said it's kind of been surreal. Like I said, it all just came out of nowhere. Like in March, like my life has changed forever, and I'm so blessed. But the work is not done. Like I'm nowhere near like my best football's ahead of me.
And I want to ask you, obviously, basketball, football, two different sports. But how do you
Yeah.
think playing basketball has helped you, become a better offensive lineman, a better tackle?
For sure. A lot of offensive tackles. I have like basketball helped my feet. My feet, I feel like I have probably some of the best feet in the country, just in general. I help my quick feet because like post spins. I'm doing spin moves. Pivoting and facing up all that good stuff. They help my footwork, and not every a lot. Some football players been playing since like they're 5, so that's all they know. All they know is football. So they got away with not having like great feet early on, so they're kind of trying to retrace back with that. My feet, I think that's a great asset that basketball's given me. Agility, and I would say my flexibility. Basketball definitely helped me with. It can be like it was tough for me to get up and down the court, but I got up and down the court and I was able to score. I would also say just like my awareness and my attention to detail as well. Football also, you have to do that in football, but I say basketball is a little bit more like you got to read the floor. And I wouldn't say it's the equivalent of reading the field. It's a lot more different, but it's something like I said, my attention to detail, my awareness has definitely been attributed to through basketball.
When did you start playing football?
Started playing football in my 9th grade year,
Wow.
freshman year of high school.
So what kind of got you into that? Obviously, like you said, you've been playing basketball all your life. What made you say, hey, let me try out this football thing?
So I've always wanted to try football out. I used to play with my older brother and my older brother's friend. It was me and my younger brother. And to be honest, like when I was younger, like we used to like you're just full on tackling, like they're like pick me up and slam me, like it was bad.
You got to rough it first.
Yeah, and it was like the biggest thing with football is like I used to get so itchy. I'm like, bro, I can't play football. Like I'm scratching myself all like because we were just in the dirt, like there's no pads, with just shirts and stuff. And I said I was like, to be honest, at first I wanted to be a WWE wrestler.
Okay.
I was like, I can't do that. I realized it was fake.
Yeah.
I did basketball thing, and I said my 9th grade head coach, Coach Will, he was able to convince my parents to be able to let me play football. At first during camp it was rough. All my guys. I came to my school for basketball. I'm in the hot sun like 2-3 hours. Like it's straining. I'm straining. I'm like hitting the sled hard. Like I'm doing all these extra things I don't think is necessary to be playing football. And then I'm realizing all my guys is in the air conditioning, like 2 hour practice. Yeah, it's not as rough. You're not hitting people. There's no pads. You're not running crazy in the pads, all sweaty and everything. And after the practices, I'll be able to go to watch the basketball practice because we started a little earlier and obviously ended later. But it was great to be able to go see those guys, but it really was a really tough first stretch, to be honest.
It paid off, and you mentioned WWE. I was a huge WWE fan growing up, and then I found out it was fake. One of the worst days of my life. Man.
My oldest brother told me. I didn't want to believe him, and I kept watching. I'm like, yeah, that's fake. I just had to admit it, and then I like checking it every now and then, but I just lost all the characters, like all the superstars. I don't even know anyone no more.
That's how I feel too. But obviously, you make that move to football. It really paid off for you. Like I said, one of the top prospects in the country. One school I want to ask you about. Haven't got a chance to visit, but Miami. You had some great things to say about Coach Cristobal being an offensive line guy. Just talk about having potentially a head coach that knows your position, played your position at a high level as well.
Yeah, like Coach Cristobal, great guy, great character. really, like I said, great coach.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, I feel like I say this a lot. Like just like having an O-line head coach is like it doesn't get much better than that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, at practice, it's not like he's going to the QBs. Obviously, he's going to check everybody, but
Mm-hmm.
he's not going to the QBs directly or like the wide receivers or DBs. He's going to the O-line. He's
Mm-hmm.
able to critique you and give it to you how it is, not try to sugarcoat it. Like if you're like an O line guy, QB helping QB the tight end, you're gonna be like, oh, maybe you're doing this right, knowing they're not doing it right.
Mm-hmm.
You're not really knowing 100%, but him actually playing it and him knowing that as much as he knows it, that can be a great resource. So obviously the players there and for players coming in.
Mm-hmm. And then you mentioned development. You mentioned Penei Sewell, a guy that played under Coach Cristobal at Oregon,
Yeah.
one of the best tackles in the NFL. Seeing them produce a guy like that, and you mentioned seeing them get guys drafted in the last few years. How big is that for you?
It's humongous, like I said, my biggest thing, obviously in college you want to like win Joe Moore awards, you want to win natties, you want to do all those things, but I believe the biggest thing is development. You're only in college for 3 to 4 years.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously you want to do what you can do in there in that time span, but once you get to the NFL, nobody cares about college. Like
Mm-hmm.
it's time to be in big leagues, and I want to be able to say, all right, I was developed by the best, and now I'm proving it, and now I'm just playing in the league, and now I'm breaking records in the league, rookie records, and
Mm-hmm.
be able to do great things for the future and seasons and seasons and seasons.
And then you mentioned also, Miami might be a sneaky team that might get you on the OV, get you on
Yeah.
campus. If you do end up, getting down to Coral Gables, what are some things that you want to see from the staff, see from, the city of Miami itself?
Definitely just be able to talk to the staff a little bit more face to face. Being able to see the campus, like the campus life, to be able to see. If I realistically want to be able to see myself as a Hurricane.
Mm-hmm.
I said coaching. That's not even like the problem. I would just like to say like also talking to the players.
Mm-hmm.
The players is a big thing. Keeping it transparent. Like, oh, I love it here. I could be better. I don't like it here. Being able to see like a general census of how they like the school and the program there.
Mm-hmm. And then before we end it, I always like to do, some fun questions. Going to start off. What are 3 things you can't live without?
3 things I can't live without: lotion, chapstick, and my toothbrush.
Okay, so the necessities.
Yes,
For you, before a game, what's that song you turn on to get you locked in, ready to go?
Ooh, this is a great choice. I want to say I Choose Violence by Glock 40 Spaz.
Okay.
I'm underground, yeah.
So I get you locked in?
Glock 40, yes, sir.
Okay. I'm a big food guy. What's one meal you could eat for the rest of your life and not worry about?
I'd have to say I probably have to say Chinese food like lo mein noodles.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'm a big shrimp fried rice guy. I love shrimp fried rice, so I'm up there with you. And then my last question. I know long time before you announce your commitment, sign with the program, but when you do, what's the school going to get out of you? What are you going to bring to a program?
I'm just going to bring grit, tenacity, effort, and resilience.
Mm-hmm.
A resilient player. I know I can bring it to the next level.
Sure. For Immanuel, I'm Izubee Charles. Thank you all for watching.
Thank you.